At 6:48 a.m., the radio in my truck crackled with urgency. "Boss, we've got a problem," Marcus's voice hissed, laced with disbelief. "The new HOA rent-a-cop, Carl, is playing hero in front of the 25-tonner. I nearly choked on my coffee. The sun was barely peeking over the manicured lawns of Silver Pines Estates, where every blade of grass screamed suburban perfection. A National Guard supply truckload with gear for a critical statewide drill blocked by an HOA guard? It was absurd, like a sitcom gone wrong. "Standing how?" I asked, snatching my keys. "Like he's Captain America in a cheap vest," Marcus groaned. "Arms crossed, clipboard in hand, the whole deal. Won't let me move an inch." I pictured Carl, the HOA's latest power-tripping hire, probably still reviewing his high school football days. Silver Pines had upgraded their security after a ridiculous flap over unsanctioned mailbox colors, and now their guards strutted around with vests, clipboards, and egos bigger than the gated entrance. I floored it to the main gate, mentally rehearsing a calm explanation. This wasn't some Amazon van. My company, Pinnacle Transport, had a federal contract with the Department of Defense. The truck carried encrypted radios, water filtration units, and enough MREs for a month-long emergency drill. Blocking it wasn't just inconvenient, it was a national security risk. When I pulled up, the scene was straight out of a fever dream. Carl, a scrawny guy with a comb-over and a reflective vest stretched tight, stood defiantly in front of the olive-green behemoth, slapping its hood like he owned it. "Back it up!" Marcus shouted from the cab, his patience fraying. I stepped out of my F-150, forcing a smile. "Morning, Carl. Little mix-up here." He didn't even look at me, just flipped through his clipboard with the gravitas of a Supreme Court judge. "This vehicle isn't on the approved entry list. Silver Pines HOA Code 14.2 Anno oversized commercial vehicles without board pre-approval. Turn it around." I blinked, stunned. "Carl, this is a National Guard truck, part of a federal supply chain. We've run this route every Thursday for 8 months. It's time sensitive." He jabbed a finger at a laminated sign zip-tied to the fence. "Rules are rules," Marcus muttered into the radio. "Boss, should I inch forward? He'll scatter." "No," I snapped. "We don't mow down idiots." Instead, I dialed Margaret Voss, the HOA president, whose emails could make a saint curse. Her voice oozed condescension. "Mr. Carter, is your driver ignoring our entry protocols?" I gritted my teeth. "Margaret, your guard is blocking a National Guard truck with critical equipment. You're obstructing federal operations." She laughed, a dry, grating sound. "Always so dramatic. Find another route, or I'll have to escalate this to the city about your permits." The threat hit like a sucker punch. This wasn't just bureaucracy, it was personal. Carl, as if on cue, whipped out a disposable camera and started snapping photos of the truck's license plate. "Delete those," I warned. "That plate's classified." He smirked, tucking the camera into his vest. "The board'll decide what's what." My blood boiled, but I kept it together and called Major Sarah Delgado, my guard contact. "Major, it's Nathan Carter, Pinnacle Transport. HOA security. Carl is blocking truck 19 at Silver Pines. Cargo's comms and purifiers for Operation Swift Response. HOA Pres Margaret denied access, cited Code 14.2a, and threatened my permits." A long pause, then her voice cut through like steel. "Hold position. Don't engage. Record everything, names, times, statements. I'm escalating." The call dropped. I started filming Carl discreetly as he strutted like a peacock. 15 minutes later, a sleek black SUV with tinted windows and government plates rolled up. 2 agents in crisp suits stepped out, earpieces gleaming. The taller one, Agent Brooks, marched toward Carl, flashing a badge. "You're interfering with federally protected assets under Title 18, he said, his voice like a gavel. Carl stammered, clutching his clipboard. "I'm HOA security. Code 14.2a. Brooks cut him off. "Are you a federal officer?" Carl blinked. No, but are you acting under federal orders? No, but unlock the gate, or you'll be detained for obstructing military operations. Carl's hands shook as he fumbled with the keys, muttering, Is this even real? Brooks stared, unblinking, as Carl swung the gate open. Marcus drove through, followed by a second truck. From her McMansion perched on the hill, Margaret watched through binoculars, her face twisting from smug to furious. I gave her a cheery wave. Her curtains snapped shut. Later, our attorney sent the HOA a notice citing federal violations and reserve VYing claims for damages. Margaret called it a misunderstanding, but Marcus's read it VY Deo of Carl's standoff captioned. HOA guard thinks clipboard stops army. Blew up, racking up 1.2 million VYUs. Silver Pines became a laughingstock, with memes flooding the internet. A sign popped up by the gate. Military supply route. Don't mess with Uncle Sam. Margaret held an emergency HOA meeting, ranting about social media slander and pinnacles, bullying tactics. I was swamped with calls. Our lawyer, a bemused DoD official, even a local news outlet wanting an exclusive. I sent them dashcam footage of Carl's antics and the agent's arrival, letting the truth do the talking. But Margaret wasn't done. She installed janky security cameras, one pointed at the clouds, another at a shrub, and handed out neighborhood watch badges to her cronies, like Dr. Harmon, a retired dentist obsessed with hedge heights. Her community newsletter accused Pinnacle of hauling unverified cargo, hinting we were a danger to kids and pets. She even set up an HOA hotline for residents to report suspicious deliveries. The next Friday, my driver, Lena, radioed from the East Gate. They've got a checkpoint. Harmon's got a vest, cones, and a power trip, demanding to inspect my truck. I raced over. Harmon, clipboard in hand, waved Lena down. Open the back for a safety check, he barked, citing code 16.1D. I stepped in. Unless you're federal with a warrant, you're not touching that truck. This is an illegal stop. Harmon scoffed. We're protecting our community. By committing felonies? I shot back. A Humvee rolled up, and Major Delgado stepped out, her uniform sharp as a blade. Mr. Harmon, you're impeding a secured supply chain. This is a serious breach. Harmon ditched his vest and jogged off, pretending he was out for a run. Margaret arrived, heels clicking, face like thunder. This is harassment. Delgado handed her a folder. Any more interference, blockades, false reports, checkpoints, and we'll seek a federal injunction. Final warning. The checkpoint vanished. The neighborhood message board exploded. Mrs. Lee, a longtime resident, posted, I was worried about the trucks, but this HOA is the real menace. Apologies flooded in. Margaret's typo-riddled email banning non-residential traffic was laughable. I framed it. Agents Brooks and Caldwell VY cited, revealing Margaret's letters to Congress claiming Pinnacle was a covert military front, hiding a secret armory in my garage, really just a busted elliptical. Our concern is operational security, Brooks said, handing me a priority operations notice. Show this if they try again. Call the police, then us. That night, an anonymous USB labeled HOA Insanity arrived, containing audio of Margaret's meeting. Her voice screeched. We make the rules. We'll rezone to block his trucks, install tire spikes, defensive landscaping. A resident whispered. She'll get us sued. I forwarded it to Delgado and Brooks. The guard filed a city complaint for interference. Carl, undeterred, tried blocking Sergeant Ruiz, a reserve VYSD, while VYing a plastic stop sign. Ruiz warned him twice. When Carl grabbed the truck's door handle, Ruiz called the cops, who arrested Carl for obstructing a military vehicle. The clip? HOA jerk versus soldier. Went VY Ral, cementing Carl's infamy. Delivery day was a spectacle. Residents lined the sidewalks with lawn chairs, a popcorn machine whirring. Kids drew Humvees in chalk. Margaret's protest was just her, alone, filming maniacally. Our Conv 2 Pinnacle trucks, Delgado's SUV, and 2 Humvees rolled in, a drone buzzing overhead. The gate was wide open, no Carl in sight. A banner on the rear Humvee read, "Serving your guard before your clipboard," with a cartoon truck flattening HOA notices. The crowd roared, phones flashing. We unloaded on my private lot, outside HOA jurisdiction. Dr. Harmon, sheepish, offered water and protein bars, mumbling, "Didn't know it was legit." I nodded. "Appreciate it." Residents smiled, their fear gone. The city rejected Margaret's rezoning and debunked her. Hazardous waste claims me trucks were spotless, the soil clean. The city attorney started digging into her false filings. At the HOA election, Clara Thompson, a retired librarian, crushed Margaret's slate. Margaret's unhinged rant about a rigged vote was drowned out by Clara's calm. "The community has spoken." Margaret stormed off, tires squealing. A week later, Clara's letter apologized, hinting at Margaret's mounting legal bills. The guard gave Pinnacle a plaque for resilience under CIVY lien interference. Margaret's final, perfume-soaked screed accused me of weaponizing logistics. I framed it next to the plaque "Absurdity meets VY Tory." Dr. Harmon slipped me a hand-drawn map of alternate routes, a quiet peace offering. Silver Pines buzzed with neighborly chats, cameras gone, normalcy restored. My trucks rolled on, unstoppable, a testament to patience, truth, and the folly of clipboards challenging convoys.